Hey y'all, it's Denise with Gemini Homestead. I thought maybe I need to make a video. I'm in the house mixing up a calcium solution for the tomato plants. And there's a story about that as well that I'll tell y'all in a minute. But anyway, we got a storm coming and I thought, well, let me go ahead and put some calcium in my tomato plants. Then when the rain comes, it'll naturally water it in. And this is what I use. Of course, I have to hide this from Buddy because at the beginning I always add 1 tablet when I put my tomato plant in the ground. And I add one of these tablets and then I cover it with dirt and it slowly releases. Well, I went to the dollar store back, I don't know, November, December, and they had a clearance, box, and there was 4 packs, the little 3-pack Tums, but there was 4 packs for 10 cents a piece, and they were expiring. But I knew they would be fine for the garden. So what I do? I go and I get them all, and I set them on my cart. It's a utility cart that he got me. And he put some new wheels on it, and that's what I moved from the garage to the garden, and it's easier for me. Well, it come time to get my tomatoes in the ground. I didn't have any Tums. I said, well, there's paper here. I found out who the Tums monster was. That'd be Buddy. I said, Buddy, you been in my Tums? What Tums? I said, my Tums. He said, well, I was wondering why there were some Tums out here. I wasn't thinking. He done had all my Tums. So I had to go back and get some. So I keep this hidden. But anyway, I wanted to show y'all what I do. There's 2 steps to what I do. First step is I always keep me a gallon sprayer, to the side, just for my tomatoes. And I break 1 tablet up. And I measured it, just because I've never actually measured one. I thought, well, I know I just break 1 up and put it in a gallon. But it actually comes to be, I want to make sure if this is right, it's a quarter. Nope, it's a half. A half of a teaspoon. So one of these crushed is a half a teaspoon, and I add that to 1 gallon of rainwater if you have it. And then I just kind of spray my tomato plants extremely early in the morning or extremely late in the evening, because if not, that sun will bake on it. But what this does is it prevents blossom rot. And if you don't know what blossom rot is, it's where the blossom of the tomato is. And as the tomato grows up, well, there's this little brown spot. Not the cavity where the stem is, but the brown spot. And it'll crack and it'll turn brown. It'll get kind of gross. Well, this actually prevents it, and if you've already started with it by spraying it, it won't stop what that particular tomato already has incurred, but it will stop future blossom rot. So I just thought I'd share that with you and make a little video. And what I use to crush mine up with is an old coffee grinder. Now right now, it smells like clove. I don't use my coffee in this one. I have another one that I put my coffee beans in. But I grind all of my herbs and things like that, and I'll wash it out. So I'll go through here and crush quite a bit of these. And then I've got an actual scoop, which I've never measured. It works. So it is a half of a teaspoon. And I'll add a scoop about every 2-3 weeks, and I'll just lightly mist my tomatoes. So I hope that helped. And when I go back outside to get, some things done, I'm going to take you around and give you an update of what I've been doing this week. So I'll see you outside. Okay, here's just a little short tour. See how much I can do with all this wind. I mean, it's whipping through here. But here is some blue lakes. They got a little crazy on me. But what I wanted to show you was my green beans that is actually growing up on the mammoth sunflowers. They are holding them good. Well, obviously, look at the wind. No staking. I've got 1 stake here, but that was actually for the sunflowers. Somehow I ended up with 2 coming in at the bottom. And so instead of them breaking off and separating, when I realized that there was actually 2 there instead of just 2 close together, I went ahead and put a stake there. But it is actually working. Now if I can figure out what is eating my sunflower. I have never in all the years ever had anything eat a sunflower. I cannot find one creature. Well, there you go again. Here's the wind. This is what we're dealing with before the storm. But we're not supposed to have tornadoes, but they said we could have wind damage and hail and a little bit of flooding. So hopefully the tornadoes will stay away. Actually, I wish they'd stay away from everybody. But if anybody knows what could be taking a hunk out of a sunflower leaf, I would appreciate it. All right, now I'm going to take you over to show you something else. Okay, not sure you can get a good picture. I might have picked the wrong day to do a video, but at least I can stand out here in this heat and get a little bit of air. But these are all the tomatoes that we planted in these tote bags. We wanted to try something different instead of the all of them in, actual beds that we have throughout the garden are in 5-gallon buckets. We wanted to try these because we tried a netting bag last year. I'm telling y'all what, these 15-gallon totes, I will purchase again and again. They are doing phenomenal. And I'll show you the peppers. Here's a little glance of the squash. Now these are lemon squash, the first two. The rest of them are crookneck. But we put those in bags as well. They're doing fantastic. Here's the zucchini and the peppers. But I really wanted to show y'all the peppers. I know some of y'all remember when the storm came through and lifted the greenhouse and we lost an abundance of plants. Well, I did find some pepper seeds that we had. And I said, well, it's not too late. And look at these. They've already withstood 2 other storms. And they're coming along, so I don't think that they were too late at all, not with our long growing season. But these are in little 5-gallon tote bags. And again, I am very, very pleased. And if you look back at the fence line, that's how we've always grown our tomatoes. Other than, just the tilled beds. We've always used 5-gallon buckets. And we run a railing across the top, and then we run string. Let me see if I can go over here and show you how we do these. And they seem to work just fine. I don't know if you can see the string. Well, it's green, so, and I'm colorblind, so I can't, the only reason I can find is by those little tomato clips that you'll see, those little white, those are tomato clips. And then watering hose. And he's got a connection here at this one to be able to hook up a hose. And I'm going to try to make a filter line instead of me dragging water hoses throughout. I'll take you around and show you some more. Okay, here is the cantaloupe. I know some of you remember, or the ones that haven't, go back and look at our previous videos. I wanted them to climb on an arch. And I really didn't want to do ground this year. I had a lot of problems last year with ants. The year before we didn't, but last year we had a lot of problems. So far they're wanting to take hold and climb. And this is the arch. There's the other one. It's not doing as good as this one, but also it was stunted when I planted it. So it's actually doing good. May not look good compared to the other one, but it's actually finally wanting to take shape. Now I'm going to show you the watermelon. Alright, there's our watermelon trellis, or should I say bench, and it is doing phenomenal. It's taking hold, and of course as the watermelons grow, instead of them coming down, as you can see through the racks, we will have straw, so they have something to lay on and not get blister growth from that metal. Guys, this is hard to film with all this wind. I feel like I'm back home at the Gulf Coast. Oh my goodness. Alright, let me shut this off and we'll go into maybe some protection area. Hold on. On my way over to show you our Cherokee Tan pumpkins, I passed by my hydrangeas. And there's a story about these. I'm sure you can see some coming up, flowering. There's some over here flowering. Well, about every 4 or 5 years, I give them a massive haircut. If not, they would be 10 feet. And I like to be able to look underneath since we have an abundance of snakes. So you may not be able to see it, but I actually can get underneath and inspect. But anyway, they usually don't get a lot of blooms on them. Well, this year I've actually had more blooms than I expected after whopping them down, which I only do in July. When the blooms are spent is when you actually go in and trim. But as you can see, it's full of blossoms. So I just thought I'd share that on my way to the other side of the property to show you our pumpkins. See, they're doing, I mean, I'm just amazed how well they're actually doing. All right, let's go over to the Cherokees. Okay, here is the great reveal. I was too excited to wait on Buddy to get home to do this, so I'm just going to add this to the clip. But I believe the day that I planted them, I did my collaboration video, and there was nothing around them. Y'all remember, all I had was the bucket with the bottom cut out and the dirt. This was done on May 16th. And yesterday, look what popped up. 4 days, guys. Well, what's going to happen is, of course, I'll move this once they get up. This is just to protect them. We'll run them up and then across. And then the height I wanted so I could get my mower under it. And it runs 20 feet. We decided to do 20 feet. They're known to grow 30. So I figured going opposite directions, that allows 40 feet. So I should be good. And I'm going to show you these. Now these were 1 day behind coming up, so these were a 5-day. But look at this, guys. Now I only planted 2 in each pot. I was kind of stingy. I wanted to save my other 2. Look at that. If I don't get blown away, it's going to shock me. Alright, let's move on to something else. Okay, I saved the best for last. This is an old pot, and I was learning about carrots. I am determined to harvest carrots by next year. And I'm not talking about a carrot or 2. I'm talking about like a Danny King Deep South homestead amount. So anyway, I was trying different carrots that would work best in my zone, thinking that was my problem. Well, I started a few seeds. I said, okay, let's just see. Changed up the soil. Well, they didn't do anything. So I added nutrients to this soil and planted some marigolds in here because it's a good bug deterrent. Well, I noticed about a week ago, let me see if I can zoom in. Y'all see that? Well, there's 3 of them in here. That would be a carrot. Now, I'm not touching them. Matter of fact, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to add some water. I'm not going to fertilize. I'm not going to do anything. Because something tells me I'm going to get 3 carrots. And when I do, y'all, you talking about a video. I'm going to make a video of me plucking them, cleaning them, and I'm going to eat them. Not going to share. For over 15 years, I've tried to grow carrots off and on. Have not been successful. So I have to go to the big box stores and buy in bulk the organic ones and put them up if I want them. So here you go. And by the way, I got to give Buddy a shout out. He's the one that first saw them. See that? That was, to me, a blessing. Okay, that was the tour. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm talking about the wind is whipping. So I don't think you had a hard time hearing me because I got the cover off, and anyone that knows me, my voice is kind of like Jareth over at Reap What You Sow. We kind of got to bring it down an octave, you know. But anyway, that was the little tour. I wanted to do more, but the storms are actually catching up. So I want to try to get in and get out of them. But here was a little update. We tried to do one Sunday and had a catastrophe. I'll go ahead and let y'all know. Sunday, we did a video. to walk you around, Buddy and I, and talk and catch up on what we've been doing. So we did this 10-minute video. Thought that would be great. Turned it off, went in and got some coffee. Looked at my phone, and here I am going to edit. Y'all know how that is. That's a pot of coffee and a half and a couple of Tylenol and a lot of praying. But anyway, there was nothing there but a picture. So obviously, you know, you didn't put it on video. You put it on, let's take a selfie picture. And that's what we did. Wasn't a good picture either. So I said, well, okay, I've got pictures throughout of what we've done and some other videos. And I'll just add them together and maybe redo it. Well, I went into my pictures, and all of a sudden it said something about update, or update was successful, or I don't know, something about an update. So of course I got to go back in and get another coffee, so another cup of coffee, because I got to read the second paragraph. This is my sanity. I don't know why. If I don't have this, I don't comprehend anything. So anyway, I sit down and I look, and 335 pictures is in little gray squares. And it had like a, I don't know, a white kind of sign in the middle. I said, uh-oh, I lost all my pictures. Couldn't find them. Didn't know what to do. Buddy said, well, maybe they're in a cloud. I said, what? He said, a cloud. I said, I got one of them. He said, we all got one of them. So, of course, he tells me on his phone, we have the same phone. We both have a dough date. So he's telling me which button to hit. No, I don't have no cloud. Well, I do have a cloud. There's nothing in the cloud. There ain't even a cloud in the sky on this thing. You hear me? There's nothing. It says no data. Well, I'm heartbroken. Then I'm kind of angry. Because this time, my little fingers didn't do the walking on the wrong buttons. I don't think so. I'm 99% sure I didn't. But anyhow, I said, okay, I got to go to AT&T in the morning. Sure enough, boom, I was there when the door's open. Man opens the door. I tell him, look, I don't have no pictures. So he takes my information. He sits me down on this long sofa and some big TVs with all this noise going, and I'm really getting nervous because I'm thinking, oh, Lord have mercy. He fixing to tell me something bad, or he fixing to say, your phone broke, you buy a new one. I said, oh, God. So he sits down and he punch, 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 punch. All of a sudden he says, that's your pictures? I said, yep, that's my pictures. He said, okay, and he hit a button. And I saw the word retrieving. So within a second, he said, here you go, ma'am. Check them out. I looked. I said, there's nothing there. Y'all ain't going to believe this. But my phone just died. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if y'all saw it. I guess I'll see it when I go back and replay, and hopefully I can edit. But my screen went black and said, your phone dead. So anyway, let me get back to the story. So he says, well, ma'am, I can't help you. I don't know where your pictures went. He said, but you have this insurance called ProSong. So he sends me a text and he shows me how to download it. He said, and how soon can you be at home on your Wi-Fi? I said, well, don't y'all have Wi-Fi? He said, well, you have to be home for the technician to call you. I said, well, about 30 minutes. So here I go out the door. I'm getting there, you know. Get home. My phone's always dying, so I have to plug it in. And sure enough, on the money, the man calls me. And then he asked me who I am. And so he says, I need you to punch in a couple of numbers. And I did. And he said, okay, now I've got access to your phone. He said, so I'm going to tell you what to do, and then I'm going to look and see if you've got a setting that's off. So we went through all the stuff. He had to update, went into the cloud, and he, of course, you know, by what I hit, he showed me, you know, where that was. There was nothing there. He said, well, sometimes when we have to pull it from there, it takes a while. So I'm going to call back in an hour. He said, no. He said, I'll call back in 30 minutes. And by this time I'm thinking, okay, that's a total of an hour. So now we're into about 3 hours total, you know, from getting there and so forth. He said, but at 25 minutes, I want you to turn your phone off, wait 3 minutes, turn it back on, and all your pictures are to be there, and your videos. I said, okay, I can do that. 25 minutes went by. I did what he said. Turned it back on. I had 2 minutes left for him to call me. No pictures. Nothing. Well, then the phone rings. So I answered. And it was another man. I thought it was him calling me, but, you know, it's another technician. And I could tell by his voice he didn't know why he was calling me. He said, are you trying to activate your iCloud, not iCloud, your Samsung Cloud? I said, no, sir, I'm just trying to find my pictures. That's all I want to do. I want to find my pictures. And he said, well, this is an easy fix, honey. He said, just swipe up. I'm thinking, here we go. Well, I swiped up on my phone. He said, and he's in my phone, because obviously they were still logged in or something. He said, that second bubble to the left, he said, I want you to touch it. So I did. He said, you see there's 4 folders. I said, yeah. He said, there's one that says photos, and it looks like, oh, what were they called? You know them little, I bought them for the grandkids. Them when you'd blow them, oh, Lord, what are they called? They were made out of like aluminum, a little thick aluminum. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. I had my brain fog just now. But that's what it looks like, a colored little wind blowing thing. So I touched it. There was every picture, every video. And I said, I didn't put it there. He said, no, ma'am. He said, it looks like your phone updated. And what it is it cleans memory. It cleans some kind of storage. It does this. He said, and always remember just to go there. He said, this is your first backup to your cloud. He said, it's built into the phone that you have. So I have 2 clouds, I guess. One in the phone and one, God only knows where that thing's at. I'd be scared to death to try to activate that or do anything with it. You talking about a mess. But anyway, all was well. I text Buddy. I got my pictures back, yada, yada, yada. And then when he come home, I showed him where it was. What does he do? He looks at me half crazy like, yeah, I thought you done checked that. Like I said, y'all, I do good to do this, but I'm getting better. So anyway, that was the heart attack of the week, I guess you could say, because I was not happy. I didn't know if I was mad, sad, both. I know I was disgusted. But when the man helped me, if I could have reached through that phone, I'd have grabbed him up and give him a big old hug. So instead I asked him, did they have like a survey or something he could, send me to? He said, yes, ma'am. Well, he did, and we got through with the conversation. And 5 being the best, and there was like 5 questions. I gave him all 5s. I wish I could have given 10, because he knew it. I didn't even have to start talking. He knew, 1, I'm dealing with a not so savvy lady. 2, he knew exactly where they went. Now, I done went to town. I done had to talk to this other fella who was on the phone forever, having me punch this and punch that. I'm telling you, I wasn't on the 3rd phone call 5 minutes. And that was including getting my name, getting all the information, doing the survey. 5 minutes. So, anybody got a note out there that needs some help, I can tell you where your pictures are. Don't ask me to do nothing else, but I can tell you where your pictures are. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. Y'all see, I'm about to sweat to death. And I can't have my fan on because my phone went dead on that last one. So I got to, see, I don't know if y'all see, I got it hooked to a charger. Well, if I got to pick and choose, I think I'm going to have to choose my fan over charging the phone. I can take it inside and get it charged. But I'm about to sweat to death. And drinking coffee at 90 degrees, it don't go good, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to drink. It's close enough to 3 o'clock. Well, for me it is. Could have been a long day. But anyhow, I'll see if I can get Mr. Buddy to do y'all a video. And I do have a cooking video coming up. That sweet, sweet young lady had asked me about a recipe. I told her, okay, I'm going to send it to her. Well, y'all don't want to see me text a recipe and instructions. It don't work. So the best thing I know to do is set the camera up, talk to y'all, show you how I do it, and then, I won't be editing because I'm just going to let it run. And the video, it takes about 5 minutes. I'll probably talk 10, but it actually takes 5 minutes. And I'm going to try to do that this week. I promise. But until next time, God bless you.